15 years. That's how long Emily and I have been married. 15 years of shared mornings, chaotic school runs, bedtime stories, anniversary dinners, quiet laughter over coffee, and 1,000 little moments that I believe were the foundation of a good life. We had 2 beautiful children, a house we turned into a home together, and what I thought was a marriage built on trust, love, and mutual respect. Of course, no relationship is perfect. We had our fights, our dry spells, the inevitable stress of juggling work and parenting. But I always believed in us. I believed that no matter what, we could weather anything, as long as we were honest with each other. But about 6 months ago, something shifted. At first, it was so subtle I thought I was imagining it. Emily grew distant, not cold exactly, but distracted. She smiled less when she looked at me and more when she was staring into her phone, thumbs flying across the screen. She'd stay up later than usual, curled up on the couch with her phone, her face lit by the glow of the screen, lips curled into secretive little smiles. If I walked into the room, she'd quickly lock it or flip it over. When I asked, she'd offer a casual shrug and say, "Just a friend from work," like it was nothing. But I knew better. The signs kept piling up. She flinched when I touched her shoulder unexpectedly. She began taking more care with her appearance. New clothes, subtle changes to her makeup, perfume she hadn't worn in years. She started taking calls outside. Her phone, once left on the kitchen counter, was now always with her, glued to her side like a secret she was desperate to protect. I tried to reason with myself, to silence the gnawing in my gut, but some part of me already knew the truth. Then came the work trip. Emily, who'd worked from home for nearly a decade, suddenly had to go on site. It was sudden, vague, and her explanation didn't make sense. She was evasive when I asked for details. Where, who, why now? The red flags weren't just fluttering. They were screaming. So one night, while she was in the shower, I did something I never thought I'd do. I picked up her phone. It was wrong. I knew it, but nothing prepared me for what I found. It wasn't just flirtation. It was full-blown betrayal. Hundreds of messages between her and Jackson, her manager, long threads of pet names, inside jokes, filthy messages sent while I sat across from her at dinner. They weren't hiding it in those texts. They were bold, casual, even smug. The so-called work trip? A planned getaway. A romantic escape paid for with sick days and stolen time. I felt my chest cave in. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just sat there, reading each message like it was a page from a horror story where I was the unwitting fool. Something broke inside me, not in a loud, dramatic way, but with a quiet finality, the kind that doesn't shatter. It severs. But I didn't confront her. Not then. I knew if I exploded, if I confronted her in a moment, I'd give her the chance to spin it, to manipulate, to cry, to plead. So instead, I played the part of the devoted husband. I kissed her goodnight. I made her coffee in the morning. I smiled at dinner, tucked our kids into bed, all while I began building my escape and my retaliation. I hired a lawyer. I gathered evidence. Every message, every hotel receipt, every call log, every lie. I hired a private investigator. I documented everything meticulously. I created a timeline. I made copies. I prepared a case so airtight she'd have nowhere to run, no ground to stand on. I wasn't just leaving. I was leaving with the truth laid bare, and I wasn't letting her rewrite the narrative. When the day finally came, it was a normal Tuesday. She came home from work, kissed me on the cheek, and asked about my day. She was light, cheerful, radiant even, like someone high on the thrill of getting away with it. "I need to talk to you," I said, steady as ever. I handed her a manila envelope, thick with printed evidence. She frowned, confused. "What's this?" she asked. "Open it." She did, slowly at first, then faster. Her expression shifted, confusion, irritation, horror. Page after page. The messages, the photos, the screenshots, the documentation of her betrayal laid out with cold precision. The final blow? A photo of her and Jackson checking into a hotel, smiling, holding hands, like they weren't blowing up a family in the process. She was pale, visibly trembling. How? How did you? She stammered. I know everything, I said. Every lie. Every night you said you were working late. Every text you sent while I sat next to you. Every single thing. She gasped, tried to compose herself. It didn't mean anything, she whispered. Please, we can fix this. Fix what? I asked, voice sharp but controlled. You destroyed this marriage. You lied to me, to our kids. You didn't just make a mistake. You made a choice, over and over again, and now you're facing the consequences. She begged, cried, blamed me, then blamed Jackson. She told me I was ruining her life. I laughed short and cold. No, Emily, I'm just letting you watch it fall apart. You're the one who lit the match. I walked away that night, took the kids, moved into a new place, smaller, quieter, empty of the lies and illusions that had suffocated me for too long. I filed for divorce the next day and submitted all the evidence. My lawyer says I have a strong case for full custody. I'm not after revenge. I'm after peace. But I'll make sure she's held accountable for every broken piece of our family. Emily tried to reach out. Texts, calls, voicemails. Showed up crying at my brother's door, begging to talk. But I didn't engage. Silence became my weapon. I gave her nothing. Not anger, not forgiveness, just a space to sit in the ruin she created. I hear she's unraveling, skipping work, wandering the house alone. She's tried dating again, but nothing sticks. Maybe because no one else will be as easy to deceive. Or maybe because deep down, she knows she didn't just lose a husband. She lost someone who loved her fully, someone who fought for the family she threw away. Sometimes I sit on my small balcony at night, drink in hand, city lights flickering in the distance, and I think about the man I used to be, the man who stayed up late wondering if love could fix everything. I don't hate him. He just didn't know yet. Sometimes it takes losing the wrong person to discover your own worth. Emily's biggest mistake wasn't just sleeping with someone else. It was believing I'd still be here when she decided to come home. But I wasn't. I was already gone. And for the first time in a long, long time, I was finally free,